Welcome back to the SportsMax Zone. Palpable excitement in the air as the countdown continues to the Americas Netball World Cup Qualifiers, set to start on October 16 at the National Indoor Sports Center in Kingston, Jamaica. 9 teams competing across 36 matches, with the top 2 advancing to the 2023 Netball World Cup in Cape Town, South Africa. Hosts Jamaica are ranked 3rd in the world. By virtue of that, they've already secured their place at the Cape Town Extravaganza. SportsMax, your home of champions. Live coverage we'll have of the qualifiers. We are continuing our build-up to tip-off today, and we're joined by First Vice President of Netball Jamaica, Simone Forbes, and Head of Marketing and Sponsorship at Netball Jamaica, Karen Rosenbaugh. Welcome, ladies.
Thanks for having me.
Good. So you said to me off air that you're not here for Jamaica. You made that clear. So no partisanship on the show today. None whatsoever.
None,
all right,
none.
great. The obvious place to start, Madam First VP, in terms of the organizing, putting everything in place, where are you today, less than 10 days away?
I think if the tournament was tomorrow, we'd be ready. We have a very active and vibrant and a mixture of old, new, and then some on the LOC, and they're working around the clock. As you know, one of the team is already here, St. Lucia. And so they got in on Saturday, the 8th. That's been great. They're here, they're now training because I believe they have a coach, local coach, who is working with them. And so that is in place in terms of the accommodation. They're set. We know that works because they've tested it and tried, and it's proven that everything is good. So that's the accommodation. The venue, I know we're doing a lot of site visits with the sponsors. We're looking at the courts. I know the venue persons are working around the clock. Karen is working around the clock with her team to ensure that all the sponsors get what they're supposed to get, and that we're putting on a thrilling world-class event come the 16th of October. So we're at the tipping point, and I think we will absolutely be ready on the 16th, and persons can expect, I don't want to say fireworks because we can't do that on the indoors, but you get the picture. Yeah. So it should be an exciting 7 days of netball.
You spoke of the St. Lucians being here already. Minith Reynolds is the lady guiding them. You said something about accommodation. So the various teams that are coming and coming in with their contingents, where are they staying predominantly? So there are one set. I believe 5 of the countries are staying at UE, 138 student living, and the other 3 teams are staying at Four Seasons Hotel. So we have 2 separate accommodation sites. Everything is in place, and know some of the officials have already come in, I believe, who are staying at Four Seasons, and they've already said that is good. So we're ready to go. I know St. Lucia is staying at one of the halls up at UE, 138. And so far we've had nothing but good news as it relates to that. So we're really happy that we've chosen 2 very good locations for that. It may seem like an obvious question to ask, but in terms of the integration of the transport to get the ladies from their digs to the venue, and the schedule of the buses and everything else, what's the word on that?
So like I said, if we were to start tomorrow, we'd be ready.
Yeah.
Kirk Finnegan, who is in charge of our transportation, has that down. I mean, he has it responsible for it, and everything's in place. So we had buses budget, who's a sponsor, and I believe the ministry contributes to that. They went, collected the teams, they have training. So the transportation hub, we're up and ready to go. Karen can speak a little bit about in terms of sponsorship of that, but I know that the teams, all the transportation buses that we're going to be using for the championship is in place and ready to serve.
Karen, your responsibility is huge. What's the size of the team, or is you alone? You're a superwoman?
Not superwoman at all. No, don't say
That's the rumor. That's the rumor.
But we have a small, efficient team, and we are getting.
So your report, based on where you are, Simone says from her perspective overall, if we were to plug in tomorrow, we'd be plugging in and ready to go. Based on what you've had to handle, your leg of the preparation, where are we?
Yes, so we are on point. The sponsors, most of them came on board before, some from the launch in May when SportsMax came on board as well. And we have a few who came in a little bit late, like in the last 2 weeks, but we've been doing, as Simone said, a lot of site visits and sharing of entitlements and mapping out what the place should look like and where they get their pound of flesh. So that's on train.
A friend of mine from infant school, we were in infant school together and primary school together, Faith Hall. I know she's working with your team.
Yes.
So she's been telling us in the group a lot of things.
Sign yourself to the indoor arena.
But here's the thing. So in terms of the sponsorship arrangements, how many firms do you have on board?
Okay, so let's start with the ministry.
Yes.
So the STF and the ministry came on early, and we thank
Sports Development Foundation,
Sports Development Foundation and the Ministry of Culture, Gender, Entertainment and Sports. And we thank Minister Grange, who is our patron,
yes.
as you know. And then we have Digicel, JTB and the TEF as our platinum sponsors. We have Budget, which Simone mentioned, crucial and key to us, moving the teams around. We have JPS, and then we have NHT, NCB, we have Sunshine Cereals, we have Wasinco, we have Courts. So we have, a good set of sponsors who are really excited about, participating in the championship.
What Karen isn't saying is that she has the blue chip of corporate Jamaica, those companies, she has them on board already. So that negates the question of asking how receptive has corporate Jamaica been to netball, because you know that Jamaican people say, especially the marketers, look, if you're not play football and if you're not run during track season, you can't get no sponsorship. But that definitely is not the case for these netball world qualifiers.
No, and it started out slow, I have to say. Since Jamaica got that silver medal at the Commonwealth Games, it has been a little easier. Because, people, I guess, just remember about netball and remember what netball can bring to the table. So we had some sponsors, I said, who came on early. NCB also was one of them. But since the Commonwealth Games, the conversations, the doors have been a little bit easier to open. So we are hoping that will continue after the qualifiers, and that we will continue to see greater interest in netball and the value that netball brings to the table.
I'm putting out my phone for a reason, Karen. I'm going to find something that Faith sent to our group about the tickets. So, there I am. Here we go. Media. Here we go. So she said yes. So yes. I have it as my guide. So, right. What does it cost? What will it cost the patrons to get in, and where can they buy them?
Only $800 for adults to get in per day, and only $200 for children under 12. We are the morning sessions on Sunday the 16th and on Wednesday, the 19th, the day before my birthday, I should remember it, are going to be free to the public. But as you can see, I don't know where you can get a world-class event for $800 anywhere. So because we want people to come, we want the kids to come, we want the universities to come. And we know it's 7 days, and it may be a bit much for people to find the money every day. So we've made it really affordable, so you can come every day and watch international netball if you want. So
the one thing it doesn't have, and see here, Simone, for proof that I have it on my phone.
Proud of you.
Before I go there, my producer says I should ask about the season ticket.
Season tickets are $4,800 for adults.
Less than $5,000 for the whole thing?
For the whole week, from start to finish.
All right. What time the game them start?
Well, so the morning sessions start at 9. The evening sessions start at 6. And in each session, in the morning session, so we have 2 courts in the indoor center. So 2 games will be played at the same time. So you'll have 2 games and 2 games, so 4 games in each session. So 9 in the morning and 6 in the evening for the 2 sessions that we have. Based
on your budget, and we have a day 1 schedule. Before I go there, let's look at the schedule that we have. Of course, we are host broadcasters. So this is what it looks like. In keeping with what Karen said, there's a morning session and then the evening. So the Cayman Islands and Barbados, they kick things off 9:15 a.m. Then Antigua and TNT, ANB and TNT, the USA and Grenada, they all play early on day 1. And then in the evening, Antigua and Barbados and the USA, they close the show. Before that, TNT and St. Lucia, and in between, the Cayman Islands and Grenada and Jamaica and St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Our coverage starts at 9 a.m. SportsMax's coverage starts from 9 a.m. That's 10 a.m. if you're outside Jamaica. So 9 in Jamaica, 10 in the Eastern Caribbean. That's when you can turn on the SportsMax app if you are at work, as you should be. Or if you're on the go, the SportsMax app, again, if you're at home, you can work with your TV. So here's the thing. Based on your budget, Karen, and you running through the various lines, is Netball Jamaica set to come out in healthy profit at the end of this?
Well, it's the Americas Netball Local Organizing Committee, of which Netball Jamaica is a part.
There you go.
And yes, that's where we're headed right now. We thank our sponsors. We're still open for more to come on board. But right now, based on the support from the ministry and SDF and our sponsors, we are set to, at the very least, break even.
And Madam VP, the reason I asked a question like that is because organizing, I mean, for us to be handling this thing, marshalling this thing, it must be something to us. And I know, and I'm not saying that these companies are doing that because these are the best of the best, the biggest of the biggest. A lot of the times you have big tournaments like these and the sponsorship is in kind. No, nobody's complaining about kind sponsorship. But as a former Prime Minister said, it takes cash to care. And I know that the parent body would want the cash, and Netball Jamaica could do well with it as well.
Absolutely. But you know what? The cash is as good as the kind in this case, and in most cases.
Yes.
The venue alone is almost $10 million. So if we can get the venue in kind, we will take it, and which we have because the ministry is covering the venue costs. So as Karen said, it's looking like we're going to be taking home something, and we're hoping that others will come on because this is, I mean, we haven't had netball like this in Jamaica in a long time.
Yes.
And for us to be host to all of these countries in the region, it's a big deal, and it's very, very affordable. And so we're hoping that other sponsors can come on, persons will come out and watch, but at the end of it, we're hoping that everybody will go home, and by that I mean the teams, because any profit made will be shared among all the countries, and America's Netball, of course. And so we're hoping that at the end, on the 27th or the 23rd, when we check off, there will be a profit.
When the accounts are reconciled.
Yes.
So Jamaica has hosted the Netball World Cup twice, 71, 2003?
Right,
there you
the
go.
World Cup,
all right,
yes.
Good. The World Cup, the qualifiers are here. All right, that's all the time we have. Netball America's qualifiers on SportsMax from 9 a.m. on October 16, morning session, afternoon session. We have it all covered for you. We're doing it wallpaper style. All right, you won't miss a minute. Back with more of the SportsMax Zone after this.